Jacob, you're still not coming home yet? Do you even know what time it is right now? It's been 4 hours now since I've had dinner made and you're still not home from work.
I can still get a taxi or something to ride home in a little bit and we'll eat that food tomorrow.
But I told you that I wanted you home earlier today, didn't I?
Well, there were some things that came up. I had some things from work come out of nowhere that I needed to handle.
Well, if that's the case, then you should have told me a lot sooner when you first found out. I had messaged you 2 hours ago, right?
Well, I was drinking, so I didn't have time to look at my phone. I'm just going to be home a little bit later today, so don't get so upset with me, okay?
But I had made your favorite food today for dinner. You told me what you had been wanting to eat lately, and so I got it all together for you. And I told you this morning that we'd be having all of it for dinner tonight, didn't I?
Is that so? I'm sorry. I'll hurry up and come home.
But aren't you still drinking?
Well, not anymore that I'm being asked to come home. How can I drink when you keep getting upset with me? You're not going to go to sleep before I get home, right?
Well, if I do fall asleep, then I do. But I might now because I don't have work tomorrow.
Well, if that's the case, then stay awake until I get back.
All right, I will. Hey, you remember what's going to happen on the 3rd of next month, right?
On the 3rd? What was it?
Are you serious, Jacob?
I'm just kidding. I know. It's going to be our wedding anniversary, right?
Even if it's a joke, don't say things like that about our important date.
We're going to be going to the same restaurant we always do for dinner, right? I'll make sure to get us a reservation there, so don't worry.
Well, if you can get that, it would be great. But this time you're not going to be late for the dinner, right?
Why would I be? Have I ever been late to our anniversary dinner before?
You haven't yet, but recently you have been late to a lot of things. And the last time you and I have gone out together was months ago, if I remember correctly.
But you and I have gone out shopping together, right?
Do you consider the two of us going out to the supermarket to get groceries a date?
Well, you and I have been married now for 2 years. I think us doing anything together can be considered a date.
But I'd also like us to do things together that are a bit more relaxing and romantic. You and I both work full-time, and so we're always busy with something going on. But even on days that we both have off together, you're going out on your own, right? You just leave me at home to do all the cleaning.
I'm sorry. My next day off, I'll take some time to help you around the house. And then in the afternoon, you and I can go somewhere you want to go together.
Really? That's a promise, right?
It's a promise. I'm walking outside now, so I'm going to hail a taxi.
Then I'm going to get started on reheating dinner for you. Please be safe on your way home. Listen to me, Jacob.
Huh? What's wrong?
I just got a call from my mom and she's telling me that my little sister had gotten into trouble again.
What happened with her this time?
Well, she seems to have a relationship with a guy at her work.
Man, that right there is a bit too much.
And this morning, that guy from her work came over to my parents' house and started yelling at them to give him my sister. They were getting really close to having a call with the police.
What? Your little sister is still living with your parents?
She lives on her own now, but sometimes she'll go over to their place to stay for a while if they need help with anything. But this time, my mom was furious about what had happened.
Even from the morning, things are starting out rough for all of them.
And it was just 2 years ago that she had cheated on her partner at the time, who happened to be a boss in the company, and she had to pay a lot of money in a settlement to him. I guess she didn't learn a thing back then. Well, if it wasn't her that ended up paying the settlement in the first place, though, my parents did that for her.
I don't know what else to say besides the fact that your little sister really gets around. Now that I think about it, she's only in her mid-20s, right?
Yeah. She's getting close to the point in her life where she should be settling down a bit, yet she's still going out messing around. Why does she want to start so many things with different guys?
Well, there will always be people like her that love to run around and play with various people.
Well, I'm sure I was the same way when I was younger. But just remembering my past makes me so upset.
Well, things like that aren't happening with you anymore, so you're okay.
Well, I can trust you being my partner and husband because we've been together for almost 5 years now. And if you were someone like those guys I'd been with in the past or my sister, I would have never come around to marrying you.
Thank goodness you were able to marry me.
But I'm sure that my family is trying their hardest not to get us around my little sister anymore.
No, I don't mind meeting with her whatsoever, actually.
Well, if you say so.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm just saying that if you don't mind my sister, that's fine. But this time my parents have had enough of her and are planning to outright cut ties with her.
That's right. The last time she was caught having an affair with another man while dating her boss, she made a promise to your parents to never cheat again, right?
Yeah, and if she promised them that, then they would be willing to pay the settlement for her. And since that event had taken place, there was nothing really going on between my sister and my parents and any guys. But now, it actually seems that in these past few years, she's been doing the same kind of things like cheating and dating more people from her work, but all behind our backs. That's what she told my parents today.
Well, saying they'll cut ties to her is a big deal.
Well, that's how far she pushed my parents around with her relationship issues before they met her limits. And it's not just all the cheating and stuff, but the fact that she's always causing problems for everyone when she's around, and my parents have to be there to support her and get her out of it. I think by this point, there are more people that hate her on this planet than like her.
Well, that's probably true. Are you going to be okay with them doing that to her?
I think she has to pay for everything she's done now. And when I think about all the men she hurt, I can feel the anger they must have for her. She's been doing some terrible things, and my parents understand that all too well. I'm sure they still don't want to think about doing what they have to do, and would really like to think that she never could have done any of this.
Because they still love her, right?
I believe so. I feel the same way, but there's nothing else that can be done. I think they have to cut ties with her, and I sort of feel the same way.
I'm not really familiar with everything she's done yet, and she's not my sister, so I'm not sure what you should do. To me, I really thought she was your standard little sister that was always bright and cheerful.
And that's why I'm so upset right now about what's going on and can't figure out what I should do. I'm sorry, Jacob. It's lunchtime right now, and I'm going on all about this.
Don't worry, Miley. I don't mind having to listen to things like this while at work. It's times like these where you should be telling me everything.
Thank you. I don't want to go, but I think I should head back to my parents' house soon. Right now, my mom is having a really hard time handling all of this with my sister.
Alright, go home and help them out. And you should give your little sister a good talking while you're there.
I don't think she'll listen to a word I have to say, though.
Well, you don't know that until you try. When thinking about the fact that the family might kick her out, she might grow up and consider listening.
Well, if she's already hearing that, then it might be too late, right?
Well, sometimes that is the case.
You're running out of time to eat your lunch. I'm sorry for carrying this out on you for so long.
I'm a fast eater, so there's nothing wrong. If you feel that you haven't had enough time to tell me everything, I'll listen to you more tonight.
Really? I've noticed you coming home earlier recently.
Well, someone was telling me I was coming home too late, so you wanted to have more time with me, right?
Yes, thank you. I think today I'm going to make us something good for dinner.
Well, then I'll send you some of my requests in a little bit.
Alright, I'm looking forward to cooking up whatever you want.
Miley, I just got to the restaurant. Are you still not here yet?
Unfortunately, something really bad has happened.
Huh? What really bad thing has happened? Don't tell me you got into an accident.
Well, if you think about it, there has been an accident.
What do you mean if you think about it? You're safe right now, right? If you got into an accident on the day of our anniversary, then I'd never be able to calm down.
That's true. You really wouldn't be able to. And at this point, I'm wondering if I really can say I'm okay or not.
Huh? Are you okay, Miley? What the hell has happened?
My sister has become pregnant. I got a call from her about it right after I got out of work today.
What? Your sister's with another man now? Oh, or are you talking about with that one guy from before?
No, it's your baby. When I asked her whose baby she was pregnant with, she told me it was yours. I'm not laughing about this crap anymore.
Huh? My baby? What the hell are you talking about? After all that crap about an accident happening, it's not the time to start making jokes with me.
It would be a huge relief if it was just all a joke. But now, I've heard about it all from my family. I was even able to see the messages you and my sister have been sending back and forth. You did a fantastic job keeping this one secret from me.
No, wait a second. I think this is all a big misunderstanding. Your sister and I have never even been around each other long enough to do anything like that.
1 year ago, you had met my sister by coincidence downtown, right? And during that short time, you had traded her contact information, right? You don't have to lie to me anymore, Jacob. I know about everything between you two.
No, there's definitely no way that's my kid she's carrying.
The last time you met with my sister was a month ago, right? You told me you were going back to your parents for a bit and so we wouldn't see each other for a little while, right? I have the whole conversation saved in my phone still. And during that time you were away was the same time that my little sister was out of my parents' house. Until one day they asked her to get her butt home.
What are you going on about?
At that point, you could no longer see my sister, and that's when you said you came back from your parents' house, and since then, you hadn't been staying out late anymore. All of these events line up so well now.
I'm telling you, you're wrong, Miley. Think about it for a second. Back then during that time, your sister was still with that one guy from her work, right? It has to be his kid she's carrying. Stop trying to trap me in this position.
Why do you think I'm doing this to you right now, Jacob? You told me you had nothing to do with her.
Well, I only talked with her for a little bit because she wanted to get something for you to celebrate us being together. And so her and I talked about what would be a good present for you, that's all.
My sister is now 3 months into her pregnancy. When you look at the time frame and match it to when you were still meeting her, it matches perfectly. And she's telling me that she wasn't with any other men during that time.
Well, you don't know that. She could still be lying to you about other men again.
She may be a pretty horrible person, but once she's been found out, she stops lying about it. She's told me every little detail about what happened between you two. But I'm sure her talking about all of that is making you upset right now.
Miley, can you calm down for a little for me? I didn't do any of that. I'm serious.
If you start trying to delete any texts now that you guys had, it's already too late. We still have her phone and she's not deleting a thing. And the funny thing is that she even showed me pictures of you and her together that she took with her phone. So you were going to continue to tell me that I'm wrong when I have a very solid evidence?
I'm sorry. I'm so freaking sorry.
So you're finally going to start taking responsibility for your actions?
I was not being that serious with her at that time. It was just... We just ran into each other by coincidence and the timing was so right, so we just started to...
I'm not going to listen to weak excuses like that. You get your butt over to my parents' house right now. We've had enough of you, you know? I'm going to make you realize just how crappy of an anniversary present you've given me today and won't stop until you felt all of my wrath.
Miley, I want to meet with you one more time to talk about this.
What? What do you want to talk about now?
I never meant for any of this to turn into us having to get a divorce. The most important person in the world to me right now is you.
What are you talking about? You went and had an affair with my little sister and even got her pregnant?
But even still, I don't want us getting divorced.
Well, I want to get a divorce and that's the only thing I'm willing to do right now. You're going to become a father now.
No way. I'll pay for the child support, but I'm not doing anything else.
But from what I heard the last time we all talked together, you said you'd remarry to my little sister and then raise your kid with her, right?
Well, that was... Your parents were there as well, so...
Huh? So that was all another lie you had to tell me? You just told us that so that you could get out there as soon as possible?
Well, at that time, I couldn't handle all the stress. I did at one point think about marrying her, but I feel that one should only marry those that he loves.
Well, that person that you loved, you stabbed in the back and made a baby with her sister. Hey, can you try your hardest not to tick me off anymore that I already am? How many times more are you going to try to hurt me before you stop acting like a jerk?
You and I have been doing really well together and have had a fun life together being married. And recently on our days off, you and I have been going out a lot. When it comes to chores, I've started helping with all of them, right?
And that's because my sister had to go back to my parents' house to be yelled at and you could no longer meet her, right?
That's not it at all, Miley. That's when I learned that you really are the only woman for me. So after our last time, there was no more intention of meeting with her again. That was the moment I wanted to end things between us.
But you can't end things with her right now. You have to be a father now, and I'm not letting you run away from that responsibility. And my sister has chosen that she'll go forward with having the baby.
But I don't plan on becoming a parent yet.
So you're just going to leave her and the baby behind right now?
But look, Miley, if I have to be with her and the baby, then you and I will have to get a divorce.
Well, you already made it clear to me that you wanted a divorce the moment you started having an affair with my sister. Even if you didn't get her pregnant, I'd be done with you.
Why are you able to think about divorcing me so easily, Miley? Have you never been in love with me?
Huh? Are you a stinking idiot? I've loved you so much that I've came this far with you. While you had been going out and fooling around with my sister, I still stayed with you and got all the chores done around the house, right? You and I both worked full time, yet I was always making both breakfast and dinner for both of us. I would even work my butt off keeping the house spotless. And that was all because I loved you. So I don't want to hear a word from you about the love I had for you when you had nothing for me.
But listen to me. Is this really the time to be thinking about getting a divorce already? Even celebrities let their spouses cheat on them from time to time without getting a divorce. Some of them will even laugh it off and go out and cheat to even the playing field a little.
You're not a celebrity, right? And when it comes to getting a divorce or not, that all depends on the person and the situation at hand.
But I'm saying that you're lucky that I'm coming back to you, and I'm saying I still love you. So please stop talking about divorce like you don't care about my love for you.
It's not that I don't care about what you love me or not. It's just that the moment I learned about you having an affair with my sister, my love for you vanished because I saw that you have no love for me. That was the moment I realized I had to divorce you. Now I couldn't care less what happens to you after this.
Why have you turned into such a cold person now? Aren't you going to become lonely if we separate?
Oh, I will. I really want to believe that this is all some sort of twisted nightmare. It's so painful for me that I just want to wake up from it. But you and my little sister having an affair is all reality. So there's no other way to break free of this pain besides leaving you.
There are other ways, though. You and I can rekindle the love we had before each other. Can you trust me? Let's you and I get back to being husband and wife and move on like none of this has ever happened.
That's not something that you should be asking me for right now. What do you think you're doing? Why, after having an affair with my sister and getting her pregnant, are you acting like you have the right to blame me? You're the freaking problem. So you shut the freaking hell up and listen to me.
Miley.
No!
I'm so sorry. I don't want us to get divorced, though.
I don't want to get divorced. I want to make up again. Why are you the one telling me this when you cheated on me? You're an adult now. Whether you can see that or not, as an adult, you take full responsibility of your actions. I'm not going to just sit here and let you walk all over me like I'm the one being ridiculous right now.
Forgive me, please. You don't even have to forgive me, but at least be by my side. I'm saying that I'll never do anything like that again to you.
You still think there's going to be an again? This is why you're being divorced. Stop thinking that I have to be with you anymore.
Miley, I'm really sorry for what I did. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry.
Even a child can apologize like you are. But an adult would be able to take responsibility for what they've done and walk away. So stop trying with me or I'll really let loose on you. I believe from the bottom of my heart that I would have been better off never marrying you. From there, it took a few days, but my parents, my in-laws, and myself all went over to Jacob's house and forced him to sign the divorce documents. And while there, we had a lawyer come over, and after everyone but my husband had agreed, it was decided that I'd get everything in the divorce. I was also going to be getting a settlement from both him and my sister for them having an affair. But since my sister really didn't have anything, Jacob paid off both of what they owed. Also, after seeing his parents even help me out with getting a divorce and settlement from him, Jacob was able to fully understand the kind of deep water he was in and never spoke to me again. After the divorce, my ex and my sister remarried and have been living together. But towards the end of her pregnancy, my sister's baby stopped growing. And now that there's a little chance of the baby being born, my ex argues that he doesn't have to be married to my sister anymore. But she argues back that she doesn't want to work. So those two go back and forth day after day about what they're going to do. And when it comes to my sister, when she's decided on something, there's no changing her mind. So whether they like it or not, they're going to continue to be stuck with one another for a long time. I think that even with all the hate and arguing that they are always going through, she still likes to be with him, and that's just weird. But as for my parents and I, we're cutting ties with her. And so, we don't care what really happens to her and Jacob. And it's great to think that she'll never be able to cause any trouble ever again. And I think it's a good thing if my ex stays with her for the rest of his life as well. After what had happened to everyone then, my parents and I packed up and moved to a new house together. And we moved somewhere that my sister would never be able to find, so we really don't have to think about her even coming back again. And to make sure that she would never be able to find me, I left my job and found a new one with a company she doesn't know. So right now, I'm able to take things slowly with my loving parents and let time heal the wounds that I have to my heart from that jerk of a man. I never planned on losing both my sister and husband in one event, but I find that things are going to be way better for me going into the future. And once I've caught a new wind, I'm going to ride it into a life where people like them can't take advantage of me. I'm going somewhere that those kinds of people can't even touch me. And there, I'll be able to forget the things I've lost and forget the pain I've felt and go back to the person I've always been on the inside.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey Judy, how's your last night in our apartment going for you? You remember I'm coming over to pick you up at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, right?
It's going fine, George, thanks. I was just doing some last-minute cleaning.
Cleaning? I thought that basically all you had left in that apartment was our bed and some clothes. What are you cleaning for?
We have a little bit more than that left. And the property management company is sending someone to inspect the room tomorrow. I'd like to get as much of my security deposit back as possible, though I'm not expecting much.
Oh, jeez, that's right. Those security deposits are such a ripoff. They always find some excuse to keep most of it.
Yeah, but I feel like I've done a pretty good job of taking care of the place while we've been here. They're gonna have to work pretty hard to find an excuse not to return the whole amount.
You always were an impeccable housekeeper, just like my mom. She's so good at cleaning, I always had her clean my room back when I was living at home.
Well, that's because you're lazy, not because she's a good housekeeper. I mean, you're sitting at her house right now, eating her food and sleeping in your old bedroom.
Hey, don't make me out like I'm some mama's boy. She's the one who invited me anyway. She said she wanted to have a little more time with me before the big move. We won't be able to come by very often anymore. And speaking of which, why didn't you come along with me?
Well, I just figured that your mom wanted to have a little special time with just you before you go and take a job halfway across the country.
You were more than welcome. Actually, Mom was just saying that she missed you and wished you would have come.
Wow, really? Aw, it means so much that she would say that about me. She's been so great to me. My parents both passed away when I was still a kid, and she's been like a second mother ever since we started dating. I always felt at home whenever I was with her.
We're married now, Judy. She's not like a second mother for you. She is your mother. I know she wanted you to think of her that way. Sure, it hasn't been that long since we got married, but still. Might just take some time to adjust to your new relationship, but I hope that you always feel like you can count on her to help you out in your time of need.
Thanks, George. I know there's going to be a lot of physical distance between us, but I'll do my best to stay in contact with her. I'm probably going to miss her just as much as you will, if not more.
Hey, do not challenge me to a Who Loves My Mom More contest, okay? I will destroy you. But seriously, yeah, you should definitely do that. Mom would love it. Man, I'm really sorry about having to move like this, Judy. We basically just settled down into our married life, and now I have to move out of the state for work.
Don't worry about it, George. I understand. I said yes to the till death do us part thing at our wedding, right? I meant it.
Thanks, Judy. Makes me feel a lot better to hear you say that. I was really worried you resent me for this. I mean, your parents are gone, but all the people you've known all your life live around here, right? And now you have to leave that all behind and move to a strange land just for me.
As long as you're with me, that's all I need. We can move wherever you need to, and my friends are already talking about coming to visit us at our new house.
That's great. I'll do my best to get my work done as soon as possible so you won't have to be all alone in the house.
You better. Okay, I think I should get back to my cleaning now.
Gotcha. Thanks a bunch for that, Judy.
No problem. Tell your mom I said hi for me, will you?
It's time for you to check in, Judy. Where are you right now?
I'm at the house, George. I don't know why you need to ask me. You're tracking my location with GPS, aren't you?
Yeah, but it's just an app on your phone. What am I gonna do if you leave it behind and run away from me?
I'm not running away.
You got that right. I know you learned your lesson the last time you tried to go crying to the cops about me.
You really are something else, George. You actually had a fake psych report written up on me saying I was schizophrenic. And worse, those idiots at the police station believed you?
I told you not to waste your time trying to get the cops to help you, didn't I? This isn't the city. These are all backcountry bumpkins. I bet none of them even went to college. You're stuck with me, Judy. Forever. Get used to it. And if you know what's good for you, you'll never stand up to me again.
Seriously, George, please stop this. You constantly check my text messages, social media accounts. You put GPS trackers in all my bags. Every time you even get the least bit upset, you take it all out on me. And when I talk to you, you never listen to a word I say. What happened to you? You were never like this before we moved out here, George.
I'm sorry, what was that? Unless my eyes are deceiving me, are you trying to stand up to me right now? What did I just tell you, Judy?
I'm not standing up to you. I'm just asking questions. Is that so bad? By the way, when are you going to give me back my credit and debit cards? Shouldn't I at least be able to access my own money? I saved all that back up before I even met you.
Yeah, but we're married now, and what's yours is mine.
No, it's literally my money. I earned it by myself.
Sorry, Judy, but I don't trust you enough to let you have any money. At this point, you just used it to try and run away from me, and I can't have that.
Why do you think that is, George, Why do you think I want to run away from you? Are you maybe doing anything to me that would make me feel that way?
That's the bizarre thing. I haven't done anything to you at all. I'm out at the office every day doing my best to earn a decent living to support you, and you randomly start telling me you want to get a divorce? Are you insane? We just got married less than a year ago.
You're not the George I married anymore. You changed completely the moment we moved out here.
You're full of it. I haven't changed at all.
Yes, you have. You shout at me all the time, and you even pushed me into the wall the other day. You don't let me have any access to money, physical or otherwise, and you forbid me from ever having any sort of contact with any of the neighbors. I feel like I'm gonna go insane if this keeps up, George. I can't take it anymore.
Sure you can. Don't be such a baby. All you need to worry about is supporting me from home. That's what I need from you.
I have been supporting you. I've been doing nothing but supporting you.
Oh yeah? What about the time I caught you trying to go to some concert while I was out at work?
What's wrong with going to a concert? It was one of my favorite singers ever, and the venue was just a short way away.
I'm not letting you spend my money on any stupid crap. I'm the breadwinner of this family, Judy. I decide how my money gets spent.
I was going to use my money, though.
You're a married woman now. You need to quit acting like some dim-witted teenager fawning over a rock band.
What am I supposed to do for fun, then? What hobbies am I allowed to have?
Your hobby is being my wife. That should be enough for you. And I'm going to take you on a honeymoon, so maybe you could show me a little bit of gratitude for that.
Really? You mean it?
My mom has been on my back ever since we got married. I kept telling her we didn't need a honeymoon, but she's just so persistent. Seems like every other day she's sending me a message like, "Did you pick out a location for your honeymoon yet?"
I see.
Oh, and just so you don't get any crazy ideas, don't even think about blabbing to my mom, got it?
Yeah, I got it.
I'll be checking your texts every morning and night, so I don't think you can slip anything by me either. I'll be home at 6 p.m. sharp tonight. Make sure my dinner is ready on the table by the time I get there. And it had better be good, you got that? Try to force feed me any crap like a salad or frozen dinners, then you're gonna be sleeping out on the deck tonight.
Mom, are you there? Please wake up.
Judy? Hold on a moment, dear. It's the middle of the night. My wits aren't about me right now.
I'm sorry, Mom. I wish I didn't have to wake you like this, but this may be my only chance to talk to you.
Goodness gracious. What on earth did you try and call me almost 100 times for in the middle of the night? Aren't you on your honeymoon with George right now?
No, I'm not. I'm on my way to your house. Please, Mom, I need your help.
What? What do you need me to help you with? And why aren't you with George?
Because I ran away, Mom. I had to. I just can't do it anymore.
What on earth do you mean, Judy? Oh no. Did you and George have a bit of a fight?
No, it's much worse than that. Ever since we moved out here, George has changed completely. It's like he's a different person. He shouts at me, insults me, belittles me. He took all my personal savings and credit cards away. He never lets me do anything but housework.
George is doing all of that to you?
Yes, and it's not all the time, but he's physically abused me too. He checks my phone, email, and social media to make sure I'm not trying to call someone for help. He even tracks my phone to make sure I don't leave.
You can't be serious.
I am, Mom. Please, believe me. He let his guard down and left his wallet out in the open last night in our hotel room. I thought this was my only chance, so I took enough money for a bus ticket and ran away.
Hold on, dear. This is all too much to take in. I can't believe that my George would do any of that. And you too, Judy. Whenever you talk to me, you always tell me how much you're enjoying married life with my son.
He's watching over my shoulders when I talk to you, Mom. I couldn't tell you the truth. I just went along with what he told me to tell you so I could continue talking to you. He doesn't let me talk to any of my friends anymore, so you were my only outside contact. So please, Mom, please, just this once, believe me and not George. Please.
All right. I'll trust you for now. However, you'll have to do some more explaining once you get down here. I won't tell George a thing either, so get over here as quickly as possible.
Thank you so much, Mom. You just saved my life.
Judy! Where the hell are you? Goddamn ingrate. I took you on the honeymoon you wanted, and this is how you repay me? What do you think you're doing? Judy, answer me! I picked you up like a miserable, starving stray dog on the street. You had no parents, no family, nothing. And I gave you everything.
I'm divorcing you, George.
What? Do you remember what I did to you the last time you said something so stupid to me?
I don't think I'll ever forget it, George, and I'm not going to let it happen again.
Thought I made myself clear, Judy. There is nowhere you can run, nowhere you can hide, and no one who will help you. Tell me where you are. Right now.
Why don't you take a wild guess, George?
Not playing your stupid games.
Oh, you're not fun. You used to be fun, George. We used to laugh and smile all the time, but all that changed once we moved. I suppose that's because you were sure that I couldn't run away from you anymore, huh? I have no parents, no siblings, no close relatives, and you took my phone and wrote a bunch of horrible messages to all my friends so they'd block my number.
And why do you think I did that, Judy? It's because you were being a stupid, spoiled brat. You brought it all upon yourself.
For a while, George, you almost got me to believe that too. I was getting yelled at every day over the most trivial things. I thought there must be something wrong with me. You would never behave like that for no reason. But your gaslighting isn't going to work on me anymore.
Gaslighting? You're so full of it. The problem is that you're an absolute failure as a wife. I was only doing what I had to do to help you understand that and be better.
Oh my God, seriously? You're gonna stand there and tell me that you were verbally abusing me for my own benefit?
Yes, and now it's apparent to me that I wasn't being strict enough with you. Now listen to me, Judy. You were going to tell me where you are right now. And if you do not, then once I find you, and I will, you are going to regret disobeying me. This time, I'm going to make sure you can never run away from me again.
I have never, in my entire life, been so disappointed in anyone as I am in you right now, George.
What do you think I am, Judy? My mother?
This isn't Judy, George. And yes, I am your mother. Now, would you mind telling me what is going on here?
Wait. What? Mom? Is that you?
Yes, it is. Though after what I've just read, I'm ashamed to call myself your mother. What have you been doing to Judy? Why are you speaking to her like that? She is your wife, and you are her husband.
I don't believe this. I know that's really you, Judy. You're just pretending to be my mom.
Last night, at roughly 7:30 p.m., you sent me a picture of your dinner. After that, you told me that you had ordered some local produce to be delivered to my house, and that I should expect it here by Thursday.
Oh. It really is you.
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
Look, Mom, you don't understand. Ever since we moved out here, Judy has gone completely insane. I think it's the stress of living out here in a new area without any of her friends. It's almost like she's schizophrenic or something. She's always making up lies about how I'm abusing her. So don't believe a word she says. It's all the voices in her head, Mom.
I read your entire conversation just now, George. I have no reason to believe what you're saying is true. But even if it were, there's still no reason to speak to her that way.
Okay, maybe I went overboard a bit. I realize that. It's just that dealing with her insanity has been driving me insane.
Well then, it seems to me like the best thing for both of you would be to separate.
No, Mom, you can't say that. I love Judy.
Don't you dare pretend that you don't realize what you've done to her. I just about fainted when I saw her at the door just now. She's lost a terrifying amount of weight, despite having always been on the small side. She had bruises on her arms. Her eyes were dark and sorrowful. It was all I could do to keep myself from crying.
That's the schizophrenia, Mom. It does that to a person.
There is nothing wrong with her, George. You're the one who's lost his mind. You are breaking up with Judy, and that is final.
Never! I will never allow you to tear us apart, Mom. You know how much I love her, how much I care for her. Not to mention, I'm your son. Why would you believe her over me?
Because she has receipts, as you younger folks like to say these days.
What do you mean?
She recorded all your day-to-day interactions, George. I heard everything. Every insult, every shout, every threat. You're not going to escape responsibility for what you've done, George.
Those are fakes. She probably made them with AI. I've never been abusive to her. I love her.
Your mom isn't here anymore, George. It's me again.
Judy? You've got to knock this off right now. How could you go and tell those awful lies to my mom? Tell her you were lying. Now!
It's over, George. Give it up. There's nothing you can do to change my mind anymore. I'm divorcing you.
You're at my mom's house, aren't you? I'm on my way to the airport right now. I'll be there by this evening, so you wait right there.
Don't waste your time, George. I'm not at your mom's house anymore.
Then where are you?
At the police station. They're going to take me to a special facility that protects women like me from men like you. There's no way you'll ever find me.
Judy, marrying you is the best thing that has ever happened to me. You can't just throw me away like yesterday's garbage.
Oh, I can't I? You have no problem treating me like garbage. Every day you found a new, more creative way of belittling me. You forcibly cut off my relationships with my friends and used me like a slave. I know the truth now. You never loved me. You only married me because I was an orphan. You figured that there wouldn't be anyone to stop you from doing whatever you wanted to me.
That's not true.
It's true, though, whether you realize it or not. It's too bad for you, George. You thought that you would be able to control every aspect of life until the day I died, but I won't allow you to control me for 1 second more.
Judy, I'm sorry. I was wrong to speak so terribly to you. But you have to admit, though, you're partially at fault for making me yell at you like that. So can't we let bygones be bygones? You know that deep down, I love you and you love me.
What was that you were saying earlier about making me regret disobeying you? You said you'd make sure I could never run away from you again. What did you mean by that?
Oh, that? I was just angry, that's all. I didn't mean any of that.
No, I'm pretty sure you were dead serious when you said that, George. That was a threat that you had every intention of following through with. I'm never coming back to you. You're going to give me back everything you took from me. My savings, cards, all of it. And on top of that, I'm suing you for all the physical and emotional abuse you've put me through.
Judy, I'm really sorry. I mean it. I'll never do anything like that to you ever again. So can't we start over? I promise you, this time around, I'll do everything in my power to make you feel safe and secure in our home.
Sorry, but there's no way I could ever feel safe in a home that you're living in. And to think you had the nerve to call me a horrible wife? What kind of a husband abuses his own wife, uses her like a slave, and controls every aspect of her life? I'm going to start over, George, and there is absolutely no room for a scumbag like you in my new life. After that, the people at the place I was staying set me up with a great lawyer who dealt with George for me. It didn't take long for all the details of our divorce to be finalized. He does a great job of keeping up appearances to the outside world, so he was terrified when he found out the police were getting involved. He settled my lawsuit for his abuse out of court and swore under penalty of perjury that he would never attempt to contact me again. His mother went and got all my cards and money and returned them to me personally. I was telling the truth when I said that he had been physically abusive to me, but unfortunately, there wasn't enough hard evidence to charge him with any crimes. So George did manage to dodge serving any prison time, or even getting arrested at all. Part of me is extremely disappointed in that part of the outcome, but I also understand that it may be for the best. If I had succeeded in completely destroying his life, he'd have nothing left to lose. Who knows what he'd be willing to do to me then? No, I'm perfectly content in just getting him out of my life and getting a hefty amount of money from him in the settlement. George's mother was absolutely livid once she found out what kind of monster her son was, and once the divorce was settled, she formally disowned him. She also made sure to inform all of her relatives about our divorce, as well as the story behind it. Meanwhile, I went around to all my friends and told them the same information. Word spread around town pretty quickly, so I doubt he'll be able to show his face around here anytime soon. As for me, coming to this women's shelter has been an absolute lifesaver. It's such an unbelievable relief to not have to be afraid of George anymore. While the wounds from what he did to me may never fully heal, with the support of my friends and mother-in-law, I'm positive that I'll be able to get a great start to my new life.